Hey everybody, Dano here from Everyday's Turkey Day, and in this video I'm going to be giving my first reaction to the 1997 anime series Berserk, and this is the first time I've seen it. I watched it in about 2 days, so I binged watched it, but I don't have any kind of nostalgia towards it because I know a lot of people love this series. However, I did not really grow up on it, so I'm just saying it kind of from a fresh perspective, I guess. So if you've never seen the show, it pretty much centers around this protagonist named Guts, who's a mercenary. He grew up a mercenary, pretty much had to fight his whole life, and he gets into what's called the Band of the Hawks, which is a mercenary group led by a character named Griffith. And Griffith is pretty much relentless towards pursuing power and fulfilling his destiny. And he's not relentless, much so in a way that he's just a straight up brute and he goes and slaughters everybody. You know, he is very smart, but he is also very calculated. And he understands that with the people in the Band of the Hawks that die for him, he doesn't necessarily want them to die, and he's not uncaring, like he's not apathetic, but he understands that in order for him to get to where he wants to go, that, you know, these things happen. And so he's not regretful of it. It's kind of like, you know, pawns in a chess game, kind of that attitude. So aside from those two, there's also a character named Casca, who is the main female character in the show. She's very loyal to Griffith because, well, I mean, I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. But those, I would say, are the three main characters. And this show pretty much bases around the first major arc in the manga, which is pretty much just all of what happens with the bands of the Hawks and how they're, you know, fighting, how they're pretty much hired guns in a war, and they eventually become nobles for the kingdom that they're fighting for. And then some other stuff happens, but I don't want to spoil it. So I'd have to say I like this show. The voice acting is great. The animation is pretty good. There's some spots, though, that during events, like fighting or a battle or something, they'll have just a still image, which kind of comes off like, you know, maybe for production costs to keep them down, but it also might be a stylistic choice as kind of a callback to the manga. And I mean, it's not bad, like it works, but, you know, sometimes you just really like to see some of those battle moments, you know, and it would really make it a lot better, I would think. However, yeah, it's still good. The only thing that really kind of not pissed me off, but, you know, I just really didn't like was the ending. Oh man, you know, it builds up, and then right at the last episode, right when it gets to like what do you call it, the climax, it just abruptly just ends, and you're kind of just like, wait, what? That's it? You know, I was thinking like it was the end of the 25th episode, which there are 25 episodes, but I was kind of like, hold on, is there a 26th one? Like, does this get concluded? And it does not. You know, it builds up, and, you know, you get this really cool conclusion. Well, not really cool conclusion, but it's building up to it, and then that's just over. So I thought that was kind of bullshit, but, you know, I'm still glad that I watched this. Up until that point, it was good. There was good character development. It was a good story. And to be honest, like, I don't really read much manga, but this kind of has me wanting to read the actual manga and picking up the books and seeing what happens after this. Because I believe there's about like 39, 40 volumes of the manga. So, you know, it's kind of one of those series that you have to stick with for the long haul if you want to read it. But, you know, I might, you know, pick up a book here and there and probably, you know, make my way through it because it is really interesting and it is really well written. So if I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. You know, it wasn't my favorite, you know, anime show that I've seen in a long time, but it did keep my attention. I did like it. And yeah, so I'd say if you haven't seen it, you know, check it out. It's here on YouTube for free. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think. So, yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Peace.